Yeah. I've met you before, mate. A man of around 50 with matted grey hair, wearing a dusty suit, looks at you with a sad smile and a deep gaze as you come closer. He holds out a soft, although a bit shaky hand for you to shake, and you do so without even thinking. It's a good day, my friend. My speeches have finally touched someone's heart. I am Svatoslav Granovich, the opportunist, the friend of truth and democracy. How may I shift the lead fog that covers your brain today? Who do you oppose exactly? The man points to the Chamber of Commerce building with a theatrical gesture. Who else would I oppose in my work? Only those uneducated little tyrants that off the blood and sweat of us working people. That live off the blood and sweat of us working people. The communist vampires calling themselves the Chamber of Commerce, but in reality they are nothing but puppets in the hands of Atom. What did the Chamber of Commerce ever do to you? What? What? The Chamber of Commerce is a continuation of the regressive Soviet regime. They punish me by making me take antipsychotics, and even now hunts all those who dare say the truth. My God, why? Just yesterday, one of the crooked militiamen of the city came over me and said, if your crazy ramblings were not as pathetic, we'd already jail you. See how close I am to being imprisoned, young man. What other civilized country has such a regime? Isn't the Chamber of Commerce denying the very existence of Atom? Wait. Oh yeah, pups in the hands of Atom. The man touches, I don't have the patience to hear such silly assumptions. Can't you see that this is just a cover-up? Sure, they deny Atom exists, but they serve it anyway. The Chamber of Commerce is a dirty brown stain on the underpants of history, and Atom is a remnant of their KGB overlords. What so what's your alternative rule? Man starts thinking hard. Well, first off, I want to make this law that allows you to say anything you want in the history of Krasno's Demonia. Freedom of speech, yeah, that's it. Also, I want to make everyone say they're sorry for the crimes of Stalin's regime. And I want monetary compensation for being a martyr for our freedom. For all those years, they held me in a mental institution. So you're a man of the people, only caring about others, right? It's very deep thoughts. So let's change topic. Can you answer a couple of questions for me? The man smiles, but his eyes keep some existential gloom. Sure, I'm always glad to have a civilized discussion. What can you tell me about yourself? What can I say about myself? I'm just a simple martyr, one of millions of those violated, murdered for speaking the truth. But I wasn't murdered yet. Those bastards are probably afraid of causing an international conflict. I'm widely known in the Western press, you know. I have radio interviews, I've read lectures, I made slide presentations. They called me an anti-Soviet dissident. They painted me crazy, made me take my temperature and give me some of my blood for testing in underground halls of criminal psychiatry. But even after the bloody Soviet Empire was finally destroyed in a nuclear blast, my fight wasn't over. I'm still struggling for peace. Gotcha. And how's life here? The man's face grows red, his nostrils flare, his knuckles go white. What can I say about the city of post-Soviet remnants who made it into an ungodly nest of communist tyranny? Well, people are prosecuted for the simple wish of saying the truth. Every day I pray that God destroys this place whilst I'm taking my evening stroll in the woods. Wow, you actually stroll through the woods at night? Huh. And what do you do for a living? I gather mushrooms, I do odd jobs, I hunt giant ants sometimes. Why? Why would an intellectual such as myself stoop to such low-end jobs? Well, because they don't allow me to work like I wanted. I went to them. I went to the members of the Chamber of Commerce. I begged them to give me some money to start my own libertarian newspaper. They're called Death to the Chamber of Commerce, and they simply said no. Probably hoping I'd die from starvation with no job at hand. Wow, so evil. I guess share some rumors? The most interesting thing I heard, that Atom, the accursed remnant of the old regime's army, sent an agent into the Waste. Why? I don't know. Probably to cause some evil materially. Yeah, probably just an urban legend. I better go. Yep, probably just an urban legend indeed. Okay, so apparently the last time when I was speaking to the editor, I forgot something. Thank you, by the way, Nemolia, for pointing that out. So I'm just going to do this interview thing real quick. I was going to do it off camera, seeing as I've already talked to this guy, but seeing as it is like a couple of lines of dialogue, I might as well run through it with him. Hello again, editor. I'm back already. Hello, what's brought you here? Let's talk about an interview. Man folds his arms on his belly. Look, there are 3 heroes of the battle for the Berlin Wall that currently live in the city. Yeah, that very battle in the war against the Western Bloc that ended up in the nuclear supplies for us. On the one hand, this is extremely lucky. On the other, they refuse to talk to me. We started off on the wrong foot. One guy, who I suppose had a bad case of PTSD, threw his urinal right at my head. You don't say. Live in history. Yeah. Sad yet beautiful, like a violin playing in the Chinese garden. Alas, the times and the manners. At last, a living history. This is exactly how I'm going to sell the story. But I need juicy details. I need these 3 old farts to crack up. Such respect to 3 brave warriors. What do you want for them? All I need is for them to tell me about those events. We'll make up the rest. So, these are their names. Sergei Maslov, who lives in the suburbs, but in a good house. Ambrose Trufilev, from a house near the hotel. It was his urinal that I was nearly hit by. And the third is Vystotsky the navigator. People say he too has some sort of house somewhere in the suburbs, but prefers lying about grasping at the bottle. Find them all, and make them tell you about that battle. Write it all down or memorize it, I don't know, and bring the stories to me. You get 50% of my wages. Deal? Well, whilst he's being a little bit harsh to them, I guess the story does need to be told, and I will be definitely interested to hear about this, and it seems to be a major lore point in the game. Good deal. The man claps his hands and dances with pleasure, which makes the old floorboards creak. To be honest, I didn't expect that, Vladislav. Well done, great. I'd kiss you, but I'm not big on that. Alright, I'll be waiting here. Okay, good luck. Right, now it is the daytime, so I think I'm going to go and wander into our lovely, lovely Chamber of Commerce and see whether I can speak to someone without having to go underground. Or maybe I can get a new pass in, I don't know. Let's have a quick save. Is there anyone here we can talk to? That's one person. Obviously still got the guard. And another person in the other room. Oh, and her as well. Wait. Oh wait, there's a couple of people. Huh. Have I talked to these guys before though? In front of you stands a woman in a wide-brimmed hat and a washed-out shirt. She stares in the distance, a little dreamily, which clearly signifies a longing for adventures. Her sunburnt skin and bruised callous hands tell of years of hard labour. As she notices you, she gives you a short nod. Welcome to Krasnoznamanya. Yes, thank you. Do you think it's a good city? The woman snorts and looks around. It's an interesting question. I've been to many places. Krasnoznamanya is not the worst of places I've lived in, but it's not the best either. The police are corrupted, of course, but they don't cross the line. The residents are friendly, but won't hug you to death. As for the authorities, well, I've seen worse. I see. And where are you from? My family comes from the city of Fargate. It's on the Black Sea. Those are picturesque places, but dangerous too. And which places have you visited so far? Oh, many. Trudograd, the Mountain Pass of Woes, Vladikavkaz, Machakala. There are too many places to name them. I've seen the world before I settled here. I see. And where are you from? Oh, I've already asked that one. How long do you plan to stay here? How long? This is what we had to find out. At the moment, I have no intention to leave, but maybe, if the weather is good, I'll take a ship to Fargate and see my father and sisters, although they're going to visit Krasnoznamanya soon. Thank you for the story. Let's change the subject now. Sure, be my guest, so to speak. Any other questions? No? And she only has 4 rubles. With an introduction like that, I was assuming she'd become a... Oh, any places... Yeah. What do? You look like an adventurer. Is it so obvious? Well, you're right, really. Before settling in Krasnoznamanya, I herded cows along a dangerous route in the Mountain Pass of Woes, Vogolevka, Trotradna and beyond, to the northeastern regions of the Wasteland. Many of the local residents feared them like a plague, but let me tell you this, there are no pastures greener and bigger for cows than in those unfriendly lands. And what made you settle in Krasnoznamanya? Family issues. The thing is, my father, my 6 sisters, and I own one of the biggest herds in our part of the wasteland. I've been used to working hard and walking far alongside the herd ever since I was a child, and then it turned out that we needed someone in Krasnoznamanya to sort out bureaucratic formalities. Shit. I have nothing against the comfort of the city, but sometimes I regret I can't just deal with these red tapers the way I deal with gangsters in the eastern steppes. The woman snatches a shiny revolver out the holster, twists it in her fingers adroitly, and pushes back, grinning. Wow, you didn't teach me this trick? The woman looks at you with a mischievous flash in her eyes and finally shrugs in mock discontent. I don't suppose it'll hurt if I teach you a trick or two? She spends the next few minutes showing you various ways to look cool when you handle a gun. Seems that's something from the lesson stuck in your head. Now I can look cool as I die to a horde of rats. Yay! Thank you for that. Can I ask you something else? Is there anything interesting in the city in the ways of entertainment? From time to time, I pay a visit to the suburban area. You can also go to the local casino, play dice, and have a drink or two. The video theatre and Abraham's bookshop offer food for your soul. But if carnal pleasures interest you more, there's a real brothel in the city. And any interesting rumours? Nothing that'll make your hair stand on end, but some of the local legends are curious indeed. For example, rumour has it that far in the mountains to the west there might still remain some missile warheads left after the war. Or take the stories about bunkers where weird experiments on corpses were carried out. Might all be idle talk, of course, or not. Yeah, or not. And is there any place in the city where an adventurer could find a good job? Honestly, I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure places exist. Wasteland doesn't like people who are in a hurry or don't pay the necessary attention to the world. So look around and follow your curiosity and brains, then you find a job, even in the least likely of places. Okay, continue on my adventure-seeking quest then. Damn it, I was expecting she'd be a companion with the description like that. See if I can find those people who are wandering around here then. There are quite a few people hanging about. What was that I wanted to do? An untidy woman in her 30s, looking as if she had no time to check what she was putting on herself, and just put on the first thing she grabbed out of her wardrobe, with a massive chin and annoyed tired eyes, suddenly darts off and nearly bumps into you, barely holding a heavy pile of forms that look old and yellow but have clearly been filled in recently. When she overcomes the shock, she starts nervously and incomprehensively. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Buy glasses if your eyesight is weak. I have no strength as it is. I don't need weird people growing up in front of me like mushrooms after rain. Wait, are you by any chance a lawyer from Trudegard I invited here last week? Are you looking for Katerina Morova? Because if you are, that's me. Wait, you couldn't have come so fast. What do you want? Am I a lawyer? Might be a way to get in. I reckon I can pass as a lawyer, right? I mean, chances are the lawyer's dead, so just be taking his place. What if he comes in the middle of whatever we're doing? I'm on the other side of the world from a lawyer. What are these papers? Why do you need all these certificates for? The woman's nostrils flare with anger. She starts pulling papers out the pile frantically. Well, this one proves that I exist. This one confirms that the official who confirmed my existence is entitled to confirm such things. This one is proof that I paid for his services. And this... No, I'm fed up. My brain will burn if I continue. Well, indeed, this does look like a nightmare. Okay, anything else? Tell me what this pile of documents is. I told you already, these various documents that confirm each other's and my existence. Typical red tape can drive anyone mad. Definitely, if you need that many papers, I guess I could provide you with a couple more, but you need some people to sign. I've signed the papers and stuff, so yeah. I could ask a couple of questions. Okay, but only if the conversation is quick and I can return to my business. Time is money. Are you from around here or a visitor? Oh, what I wouldn't get to be a local resident. They need to file 5 forms fewer to obtain status of an official supplier. I'm from the south. I see. And what do you do here in the city? I tried to establish a working place for me and my family, to found a company that would supply everyday essentials, but the red tape here is a disaster. It's like beating against a wall. It's never been easy. And have you heard any rumours? What freaking rumours are you talking about? One can break one's head trying to understand how to register a company here, and you want me to listen to a bunch of nonsense and spread it around? And what do you think of the local bureaucrats? They're wonderful, great people, couldn't be better. Fuck them. So you like it here? Would you like a nightmare then? Let's change subjects. Goodbye. Well, that didn't go as far as I expected. A finely dressed woman of around 40 looks to you in greeting. As you walk up to her, you notice she has the most new looking and shiny shoes you've ever seen in your life. They're coloured deep red and are even decorated with bright silver ribbons. Well, I wonder what I think I can see red on that, but I'm not entirely sure on the actual model for her. I'd like to have a chat, answer questions. I'm free, so why not? Tell me about yourself. Where's my etiquette? I'm Ella I'm Ella Ogorodova. I work as a bookkeeper for the Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to Krasnodar. Quite a noble profession. And do you like your job? Well, I'm quite pleased by it. I work from home or from an office in the Chamber of Commerce building. I'm generally liked and well respected by my peers. I'm well educated too. None of that modern word of mouth teaching stuff. I have a real university degree. Well, I guess it is quite rare. And how's life in the city? I think it's okay, at least here in the centre. There are even people who started believing humanity actually has a future. I wouldn't go that far, but I'm content with life as well. That's morbid. Heard of any good stories? They say an editor from Trudegard's finest print house is staying at an inn together with a photo correspondent. What do they want to write about? Oh, I hope they'll ask me for an interview about bookkeeping. That might just happen. Heard of any good stories? Oh yeah, whoops, I've already asked that. I'm done with this. Those shoes look so good, there simply must be a good story behind them. The woman smiles, showing somewhat yellow but still healthy teeth. Not just any story, an action-packed story for sure. Make the story shorter. My word, I'd love to hear it. Oh, lover of folktales, are we? Just like Shurik from that old movie, The Caucasus Captive. Anyway, sometimes I work as a lawyer. So one day I had to oversee a deal being closed between a member of the Chamber of Commerce and some merchant. I went with a convoy on a truck through the mountain pass of woes. At one moment of our trip, the driver, named Slavik, noticed that the storm was brewing in the mountains. Driving further became dangerous, so we found a small house near the road. I ran into it and started hammering on the door. After 10 minutes or so, a toothless old hag opened the door for me. She had a huge crooked nose and a pointy hat. I started begging her to let us sit through the storm, but she just said a harsh no. Meanwhile, the wind came furious, small trees being sent to the ground. I was so desperate. I continued begging her to let us stay in the house, but instead of doing the right thing, she fished out a squirrel on a stick from her purse and started waving it around, yelling that she'll curse me if I don't go away. The wind became almost unbearable by that moment. I became so desperate, I even thought of simply overpowering the old hag and getting in her house without an invitation. But then, in a terrible gust of wind, the top of her house collapsed. Crash, slam, and when the dust settled, only the old hag's legs were visible in the rubble. Guess it was a good thing she didn't let us in, after all. We had to wait out the storm inside the truck. We were like canned sardines, all on top of one another in a tiny space, and after the sky cleared, we searched the remains of the old hag's home. There, under her bed, I found these shoes. They were in a pre-war box, never opened, never worn. She's probably saving them for a burial. Well, I guess she didn't. Yeah. Nice to meet you anyway, Dorothy. So yes, that's about that. And, you. There's a lot of people walking around here. I've talked to you already. Oh no, I haven't talked to you. Yeah, she does look a little tired and annoyed. A tired and annoyed looking woman of around 30 sits at a desk, all the while calculating something using her abacus and writing the results into a small notebook. After she notices you, she closes the notebook, then looks at you with a cold, unfriendly stare. I'm really feeling it. I'm listening. I just want to chat. Care to answer some questions? Oh, sure. Talking to you is my new passion. What do you want? I'm not sure whether to say that sarcastically or because I want to know her personality, whether she should be chipper now, actually. How should I address you? Rada Genadievna, 4th level, B rank. Interesting title. And what do you do for the Chamber of Commerce? I calculate, plan budgets, prepare payment documents. What else will the 4th level B rank official be doing? Bookkeeping? I didn't quite get the joke. How's life in Krasnostamonia? Stupid question. Why are you asking? Do I look like I live somewhere else to compare? Are you planning to send me away from the city? What's your problem? Don't have a problem. Any rumours? They say the 3rd department is going to be merged with the 5th, thus the Chamber of Commerce officials from the 5th will get a new rank letter, although those of them who worked using the BA 713 form will retain the old level number. So now the 3rd department will consist out of a 3rd level A rank officials, 3rd level secondary A rank officials of the U sub rank, and thirdly, 5th level U rank officials. It's much more logical that way, you see. I can see by the way you look, I don't know, that might be offensive. I can see by the way you look, you don't get many days off. The woman looks at a small calendar on her desk. It's mostly covered with all sorts of papers. According to it, your conversational partner has had her last rest 10 days ago. Oof, that is kind of brutal. You're only... What a shitty schedule, I'm sorry. Saying sorry won't buy me a bottle of wine. I can drink alone while lying in front of a TV during my only day off. Money for overworking sure will. Possibly you have to buy her a bottle of wine? I don't know though. Yeah. I want to ask you to make me assistant across Nostamonia. The woman stares at you with a crazed gaze. And you're going to pester a 4th level B rank official with such a question? How would I help you becoming a citizen? It's not my job. So you should go to then. You need to find the department The department and department location. There you must learn the location of my colleague, who will tell you the name, level, and rank of an official who accepts questions about finding the officials who had the power to grant you citizenship. After an obligatory 5-workday wait, you'll be transferred to the person with this knowledge. You can start by walking there. 1 points in uncertain direction. Can you point me there again? I wasn't looking. 1 points towards the uncertain direction again. It's in no way the same direction she was pointing to the first time. So you just want to get rid of me. Gotcha. It sounds a bit like the bureaucracy in Futurama, by the way she's describing it. She's in number 63, obviously. It's nothing. I better go. Well, that was useful, I guess. No one's in the loo, but this... yeah, I've spoken to just about all these people here. No one's ever in the security room, which I find weird. Talk to the man in the suit. Maybe he can get me access? Nice mustache, my good man. A mustache city official bends over several documents. When you come closer, he slowly backs away and lifts his gaze, while putting his goose feather he used for writing aside. Huh, what a strange implement to use in such a modern age. Yes, can I help you? Want to ask some questions. Oh well, I guess I can do that. How's life in Krasnoye? I'd advise you talk with the head of propaganda about that. Oh, what? You want my personal opinion? Well, I think everything goes really smoothly. Under the grand leadership of the Chamber of Commerce, we reach great results, and soon, if I heard it correctly that is, we will be even ready to rebuild communism. Might take a while though. Oh please God, no. Sure, can I ask you another question? Anything interesting that's going on right now? Interesting means unsafe nowadays. That's why I'm happy to state that nothing interesting ever goes on in our fine city. If you want adventure, head on straight to Paragon. Nothing right about that place. All messed up. And maybe, have you heard any problems? Problems? None as far as I know. Well, apart from the dancing plague epidemic we had 5 years ago. Did you know 400 people dance on the city streets for several days and nights until they drop dead out of exhaustion, malnutrition, and or organ failure? Nobody knows why. That's interesting. That actually happened in France. Like, I'm not sure whether any of you guys have heard about it, but it was an actual thing where people walked out into the streets and just danced until they died. Weird. Maybe you've heard some rumors? No. Address some kind of drinking establishment if you're interested in ESA. We are a serious organization. Ah, too bad. And what are you doing here? Like, you, personally. We control the bureaucratic processes here in Krasnoye and surrounding areas. Personally, I work with currency control. And that means... Well, known regions of the Wasteland still use pre-war rubles, but its actual price is different in every other region. The fact we don't have a golden standard doesn't help. I'm here to learn what the money costs in different lands so that our traders won't get scammed during some deal with representatives of another country or region. Yeah, but that's actually really lucrative. Isn't that a problematic position? Not really, but sometimes new scams appear and threaten all the waste. The last big attempts at destroying the economy happened way back in the 90s, when some people tried to start using pine cones, rocks, bottle caps, and other kinds of garbage instead of currency. Huh, what kind of idiots would do that? And I'd like to become a citizen? Oh, that's not my department. Try talking to another colleague of mine. I'm sure you'll find help with this matter quickly. Listen, amigo, this is useless. Getting something from the Krasnoye bureaucracy is like hoping for it to rain in a desert. That may happen sometime, but it's doubtful you'll last for that long. Oh, that's completely unfair. We're working like a well-oiled mechanism. Yeah, well-oiled mechanism with a bunch of useless extra parts. Oh, I didn't actually check what he had for sale. 4 rubles. Half of the course. Goodbye. I'm wondering if I can help her with her, because obviously she looks like she'd be pretty badass to have in a group. But so did the, you know, the stabby guy with a knife who had learnt the knife tricks off, or tried learning knife tricks off. Right, let's have a look, see what there's anyone else. Love to go to a sauna right now. Have I talked to you? And I don't think I've talked to someone who looks like you, or have I? Definitely not. The woman with short grey hair slowly walks around the city. When she sees you, she crosses her arms on her chest and looks at you kindly with sincere interest in her gaze. Another traveller walks on our streets. This one looks like he's searching for someone or something. Those shoes, that military grace in your step. You're the second person with that gaze I've met in recent times. One with a third one come over. Oh, Fidel's standing right next to me. Who is the first? And why do you expect a third? Haven't you noticed that things in our world come in threes? Either it's a gang with 3 leaders, or the local loan shark who has 3 people in debt. At the time it turned out that the 3 veterans of the last war lived somewhere in the city. And that's not nearly all. Yeah, you are right. Huh. Stop talking meta, strange woman. So who's the first person that looked like me? Not that long ago, I was walking home from the Chamber of Commerce late at night when I saw a tough-looking military man with a submachine gun in his arms. He had such queer mannerisms, as if he was just back for a military drill, even though the military doesn't exist anymore. You have those too, you know? I wonder whether it's my friend from Otradno. Oh, friend, in quotation marks. He said hello to me as he passed by. Oh, it doesn't sound like him. Stopped near a fence and lit a ciggy. Oh, but that sounds like him. I rounded the corner, but instead of going home, I started watching the man. Don't really know why. Sort of whether she had a pair of binoculars. He smoked for a while, and then he entered the Mushroom Cult building, or the Mycelium Society as they call themselves. Never seen him after that, but I remember him very well for some reason. Oh, please tell me people aren't going missing there. That is a strange thing. Care to answer any questions? Just like I expected. Ask away, please. Stop that! Who are you? What can you tell me about yourself? My name is Claudia. I'm just a simple city dweller. I don't even have a job. Those walks I take from time to time is all I'm good for nowadays. Must be pretty damn boring. How long do you live out here? I've lived out here for as long as this place exists, and I lived here even before that when it was just a simple Soviet city. I lived here for so long I'm about to spurt at your roots, you know. I'm just, yeah, don't think like that. Well, I'm sure you have a full life of adventure ahead. And wait, dinner yet? Yeah, what you do for a living? Oh no, I thought because she already told me what she did for a living. I thought I'd ask that for a second. The lady gives you a sad smile. I'm pretty lucky, you know. Back in the day, aspiring politicians took wives to fortify their careers, but their passion, their love, and adoration they kept for their mistresses. In the old world, I became a concubine for one such dedicated man who held on to his power even after the bombs fell. Although we have no passion for each other anymore, we're still very good friends. That friendship will never die. For those around me, I'm a sad old cat lady who has a stash of old money and lives off it. But I have one love in my life, and I had amazing gifts and great times. And even now I have a dear friend who helps me, who sometimes visits me so we can sit down and remember our youth together. But enough about that, I told you too much already. That is actually cool. It's nice to know that, you know, even now you can sort of be happy with someone. Especially in such troubling times. And have you heard any rumours? I'm not into rumours, and like my good friend Yugoria, better talk to her about those. I'm more like my other friend Rita. She's a calm person who takes no interest in hearsay, but just takes care of her home and her husband, Sadush. He's a fun lucky man, you know. Yep, that's about it. I think I saw someone else, but I don't know where they've got to. Right, so I kind of do want to actually explore the mycelium scene, as that would be the next step. I had a quest to get, was it 3 cans? Is it at the bottom?